So let's create these simple little butt cheeks. Let me show you how you can use Procreate Dreams to add fun animations to your existing videos. I'm sure you have seen these funny videos of everyday objects with faces, or these chickens with arms, birds reading a newspaper. Just these silly animations that get added to regular videos. Creating your own video animation like this is super easy, and I will show you how you can do it. We'll import a pretty plain hash brown baking video and add a fun frame by frame animation to it. I'm sure that after watching this short video, you'll have hours and hours of fun creating your own silly animations. So let's have fun and dive right in. To get started, we need to create a new dream project. You can tap the plus in the upper right corner, and let's just go for the 4K widescreen and then tap empty. And now we are going to import the video. I have linked it in the description, but of course you can also use your own video and add an animation to it. Let's tap the plus over here and then tap video, because we will be importing a video. And then find your video and just tap it and then use add. It takes a bit of time of loading. Let's just tap it. Now we have this video, and let's make it a bit bigger so it covers the entire screen. You can just use these handles, make it bigger and cover the entire thing. Now let's just scroll through our video, and over here you can see that one of the hash browns will get flipped. And that's the moment, that's the part that I would like to animate. So I would like to start about here. So let's tap and hold over here and then move the slider to crop the video. So now it'll start right here, right where the action is. Then let's drag the entire track to the left so that it starts at 0 seconds. You see 0 seconds here. And our video is 30 seconds long right now. That's a bit too long for me. Let's go to Dream over here. Just tap Dream 1. And then over here under Properties, you can set the duration. And I want to set it to 10 seconds. Then you can tap Done. And then you'll see it's cropped here. And we can drag this handle and make it fit that 10 seconds exactly. So right now the video is this. We can move back to the start and tap play. And this is what we have right now. And to this video, we are going to add a little face to this hash brown. And we are going to do that by creating a frame by frame animation. To make that frame by frame animation, we need a new track. Tracks are like layers in Procreate. So let's tap the plus, then add a track. So we get this new track here on top, and that's where we can create our animation. Go all the way to the start, then tap this little icon, that's the drawing icon. And now we get this view that is similar to Procreate. Now to turn on the frame by frame animation, you need to drag this down, and then you'll see your flip book here. And these are all the frames. And like mentioned, we are going to add an animation to this little hash brown. Once you know how to animate this one, you can animate all the others as well, of course. Now for our brush, let's go to the inking brushes. And I would like to use the dry ink brush, but of course you can use any brush you like. And for the color, I'll just go for black. You can double tap here at the bottom to grab pure black. And the opacity of the brush is at 100% and the size is at 20%. And in the beginning, nothing is going on really. This hash brown is still happy. So let's give him 2 little eyes like this and a slight smile. And he's looking up, being happy. And right now you can see that we have this frame here, and when you tap the next one, you'll get your next frame and you can draw the face again. But of course you don't want to be guessing, you want to see what you did previously. Now you can tap here on this time code and then turn on Show Onion Skin. And now you will see a colored version of our previous drawing, and that will help you create the next frame. Now over here you can go to Edit Onion Skin, and you can change the color, you can change the amount of frames you'll see. Right now it's at 4, but you can also set it at 2 or 1. or 0, then you won't see anything. Let's set it at 2. And you can change the opacity in case you want it to be a bit more transparent. These are all just personal preferences. Let me turn this off. And then let's just go over these eyes. Trace the previous eyes. Now you can move on to the next frame. Let's check that out. Nothing is changing that much. So we can actually just duplicate this one. And you can do that by tapping and holding it and then using duplicate. Now let's go to the next one. This saves a little time. Then let's trace it again. And it's following that spatula with its eyes. Let's see what happens next. It's moving a bit more. So let's draw a new version, making it follow the spatula. And again, well, in this case, we can duplicate this one. So tap and hold, use duplicate, then go to the next one. And at this point, this guy is already getting a bit more concerned. He's like, what's happening here? What is that spatula going to do? So his smile will fade a bit. He's getting concerned. And it'll move, well, turn into a straighter line. As we continue, his eyes will get a little bit smaller. He's starting to squint his eyes a bit. You can duplicate this one. Let's tap and hold it, use duplicate. Then make the eyes a little bit more squished. Then let's duplicate it. It's really getting suspicious here. And then let's see what's happening. Maybe he will start to open his mouth. He's like, hold on, what's going on here? What are you doing? So we can start to imagine what this hash brown is feeling here. Does he like what's going on here? Perhaps yours likes it. Maybe he starts smiling. And maybe he's starting to get surprised. His eyes will grow bigger and you will see more of the white of the eye. And he's like, whoa, this is not what I signed up for here. And he's getting more and more shocked. Let's move on. Let's make the eyes smaller again, because I want him to squint his eyes. So making this smaller, and then as he gets moved, his eyes will turn into this. He doesn't like this. He's closing his eyes. And then every time you go to the next frame, you see that the hash brown is moving a bit. So you need to move the eyes along. So we're going a little bit to the left. The mouth as well, maybe a bit more. Here again, we're moving a bit more to the left. And then perhaps he will open his eyes again in shock. Like, whoa, what's going on? Moving a bit to the left. Eyes wide open, and he will open his mouth. Move along with the hash brown, so a little bit downward and to the left. And here he will be really in shock. Eyes wide open, open mouth. And over here, you won't really see his face because he's flipping. Maybe we will see a little bit of his squinted eye and a little bit of his mouth. And then once he is turning over here, we won't see anything. And then in the next frame, we will see the other side of him. So let's create these simple little butt cheeks. Let's move on to the next frame. Gets moved a little bit. Trying to follow the movement of the hash brown. So right now it's moving back to the right. So the butt cheeks need to move as well. Flipping over a bit. Try to imagine that angle. Here it's not moving a lot. Here neither. So we can actually just duplicate this one. Tap duplicate, then go to the next one. It's not moving either, but I don't want to duplicate too often. We can duplicate this one. And now it's moving again. You can see that it's moving to the right. So the butt cheeks need to move. And here it's quite blurred. And it's going really fast, so you won't really notice that part. Here we won't see the butt cheeks. Here neither, I think. And then here we will start seeing them again. You can review the movement a bit. It's rotating a bit. And again, just keeping it really simple. But of course, you can make an animation as complicated as you like. Just every time tap here on your flipbook. Of course, you can also move it around if you want to keep it close by. Every time, just tap a new frame and cover that previous frame, or duplicate it if nothing is really happening. Just don't duplicate it too often because then it will look out of place. It will look weird having a really still area compared to all the movements that we had before. Now it's moving again, it's moving upward. So let's follow the movement. Now it's moving quite a lot. Something like this. Just review the movement. It's going down just a little bit. And now it's still again. So we can duplicate a frame every once in a while just to save some time. That's getting moved. So let's move that, all those butt cheeks again. Now it's still, so we can duplicate. And of course, every once in a while, you can review your animation by turning this off. You can tap the flipbook and then you'll see this little X. You can turn it off and then you'll get this view again. And then you can move your slider back to the left and now we can see what we have done. Let's tap play. That looks cute. Now I did see that I missed the first frame here. Let's go back in. Let's slide down. You can see I missed the first frame, but right here we can see an onion skin again. Let's tap here. Right now my onion skin is yellow, but to make it more visible, let's tap forwards. Those are the forward frames. And then we can change the color to blue, for instance. And then let's just make another set of eyes and a mouth. So let's get out of here again. Let's tap this little X. And now we got our animation of this little guy. He's flipping over. We'll see his butt cheeks. And now you can continue adding more frames in the rest of the video. And you can add animations to the other hash browns, of course. Now, what I found handy to do is create a track for each of the hash browns. So you can just tap the plus, add a new track, and on that new track, you can go ahead and make another frame by frame animation for any of the other hash browns. So when you do that, your animation will end up looking something like this. Now let's say you want to share this super cute video on your Instagram or in a YouTube short or whatever in a phone format. What you can do is export this video. You can do that by tapping hash browns here. Well, I named it hash browns. Go to share and then export your video. Then you can save your video on your iPad. Then tap done. Then go back to the overview and make a new file. Let's tap the plus and let's scroll until we are here. 4K social. Then tap empty. And now let's just import our video into this new dream. Let's tap plus, go to video again, and then import our animated video. Let's tap it, use add. There we have our hash brown video. And now we can just resize it, make it fit our screen, and then go for something like this. Let's check the animation if it's all right like this. That's perfect. All of the hash browns are inside the frame. So now we can go ahead and share this. Now I hope this will open up a whole new world for you in Procreate Dreams. And I'm looking forward to seeing lots of hash browns with faces, chickens with arms, and a lot of other fun things that I can't even imagine. So please go ahead and share your results. Don't forget to tag me so I can find it. And then I will see you next time for the next tutorial.